Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photo chats. So I've been teaching photography at the local private school in town, and they all have Canon Rebels with 18 to 55s. And I tried to explain to them how we have a closet full of 51.8s. They might want to put those lenses on the camera instead of the 18 to 55 zoom lens, because the 18 to 55 is a 3.5/4.5, which is slow. And 4.5 is really slow for shooting inside. And then I realized I made a mistake. It's not even a 4.5. It's a 3.5/5.6. That lens is so slow inside that it's virtually worthless except for at the 18 millimeter mark. But you know, young people with new cameras are always looking to zoom. And so they zoom to 55, they shoot inside, and then they wonder why their photos are blurry. Because the shutter has to be so slow to compensate for that super slow 5.6. But they could go with a 1.8 lens, which is lighter. They could zoom with their feet by moving in a few steps. And what do they get? They get from 5.6 to 4, 2.8, and 2. They get 3 stops more light. That is a lot more light to work with. And you get shallow depth of field. You don't get the wide angle of the 18. So keep the 18 in your pocket and only use it at 3.5. Only use it unzoomed. Keep it as a wide angle lens, but use the 51.8. And there was so much resistance. They're like, no, I like to zoom. It's like, you don't need a zoom. That lens, I think, is the absolute worst lens for learning photography, because they're constantly getting blurry photos inside. They're constantly fighting with the fact that the lens is so slow. And I don't think I could even photograph with it. I would be fighting it just as well. And they just don't know why they're fighting it, and they don't know why things aren't working out. They don't see why they're blurry, because their shutters have to be so slow, or they have to push their ISO up so high. It is absolutely, hands down, the worst lens you can use to learn photography. So if you're learning photography, or if you're buying somebody a camera and they're going to learn photography, do not get the 18 to 55. There's a reason why the manufacturers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s always delivered the normal lens, which was a fast 50 millimeter. That lens is a really good all-around lens. It does a lot. And it doesn't cost much. It doesn't weigh much. It's a great carry lens that you can actually do a lot with. And I'm fascinated by how many people don't have those, and they're sticking with those kit lenses that are really the worst lens you can learn on. It absolutely is. That's my take. After having sat with a group of 12 students who are trying to work with this 18 to 55, it is the worst lens. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support it to Patreon, thanks to all my supporters. I'll see you next time. Here's a good light.